What's going on, Beau? It's great to see you again, buddy.
Hey, great to see you too, Dave.
So, we have been working together for many months this year. You're one of the first guys in the Evolve Mastermind. So, I wanted to jump on here and just do a quick update and hear about the progress that you've made since we started. Now, let's first get a background, a little bit of background on you and also what you do.
Cool, yeah. So, yeah, I'm from Colorado, a small town in Colorado, and it was always my goal to travel the world and everything. So I got into copywriting. I had heard about copywriting from some entrepreneur forum, and these experienced entrepreneurs there told me that we're just recommending to aspiring entrepreneurs that actually, if you're looking for a place to start, copywriting is a great place because once you learn how to sell, you can then create your own business and sell your own products in the future. And it allows you don't have to spend months or years creating a product and learning all the ins and outs of business. You can just learn copywriting, start working with clients, and immediately start earning income while learning a valuable skill that'll help you build a long-term business in the future. And so that's I was sold. It convinced me, and so that's how I got down the path of copywriting. And sure enough, it allowed me to achieve my dream of working and traveling. And I was able to travel all around Europe, spend 3 months in Spain, go to France, Germany, and yeah, it was amazing. I had gotten my first $3,500 a month retainer client, and that allowed me to just work and travel, and it felt so cool just being this like small town boy, you know what I mean, from Colorado, and finally achieving my dream of traveling around Europe and being able to do that. So that's where I come from, and that's how I got into this. But
That's awesome.
yeah,
Now, what happened last year with COVID? You're in Poland, is that
yeah,
right? In Wrocław, Poland, the third
yeah.
biggest city. What happened when COVID hit with your business?
It's interesting. So it was so first at the beginning of this year, right around or right before COVID hit, but right around the time I lost my biggest client. It was my retainer client, and simply they were simply doing a shift, and so their marketing and content, they cut their entire marketing and content budget entirely and focused entirely on their um, engineering and product development, for a shift of their company. And so I was without my biggest client, and I was like kind of depressed about it for a while. And so I decided, fuck it. I had some money saved up. I'm like, I'm gonna go to Poland. I'm gonna enjoy. I need to get away from Colorado again. So I decided it was time for another trip, and yeah, I came to Poland because I came here the first time a few years ago and loved it. I always wanted to come back. So I came here, really enjoyed it here. Continuing to pivot in my business and thinking of the next steps. And then I met you,
How did we
and
meet?
we met somehow on we got connected on Instagram, I think, and yeah, we jumped on a call, and it was so cool. You had been to Wrocław, Poland. You had sort of been in my shoes a few years back, and so I felt like a real strong sense of just familiarity with you and connection. And it was pretty cool.
What were you
And
going through in that moment when we met?
it was interesting. I guess I was trying to figure things out with my business. I was still trying to clarify what I wanted to really go into, and I was also in. I had just sort of. mm, yeah, I had just kind of broken up with this girl that I was seeing, uh, and I was kind of like a bit in a low, I guess you could say, in some ways. And and I could tell that you had a lot to teach me, and that there was a lot that I could learn from you. And so, in all these areas, in business and dating and all these things, and so we started working together, and well, it was
And
very powerful.
and what drove you to take action in that moment? Because there are a lot of guys that have, knowledge and skills in business and dating.
You know, Dave. what the biggest thing I would say that made me want to work with you was that it was clear that you really cared on a personal level, and that's like such a huge thing, and something I'd suggest to any guys watching this is that, it's like, it's a huge thing when you actually care about somebody in business, and how much that actually matters. Like when your coach actually cares about you, and cares about your results, and is willing to really, just really do everything they can to support you and to push you to achieve your goals, and that they're not just out for the money, right? But they actually care about your results, and they care about you personally. That's a huge thing, and I could sense that from you, and that's why I was like, that's really what made me want to work with you.
And what were you looking to achieve when we started to work together, and what were kind of the results?
I think the biggest thing was the business mentoring that we had talked about. Um, Obviously,
Branding, the branding
branding.
side.
Yeah, the branding side. Like when we first started working together, I didn't even have a Facebook, for example, and I didn't have any network. You know what I mean? It
Crazy,
was,
right?
yeah, it was crazy. And now it's like I've got all this momentum going on Facebook, and this network that I'm building constantly, and it's so powerful, and I see it, and all these connections that are thanks to it, and so many opportunities. And so it's like, it's really interesting how that worked. And yeah, so it was really the business side, I would say, that initially attracted me, but there were other benefits as well.
All right.
Um,
So if the business and the branding side was what attracted you and kind of led you to take action, what aspect of the coaching was most powerful or impactful now that you look back on it?
I think the fact that you pushed me and held me accountable to things that I wouldn't have done on my own, that's really the biggest thing I'd say. So once again, like this very well, that I was very, how would you say, resistant to certain things. I was very fearful of, say, for example, posting my first post on Facebook, and then posting the
A
next
lot
one,
of
and then posting
resistance.
a lot of resistance to it, man. And
Even
I had,
making a post on Facebook, and now you're
yeah,
posting on Facebook every day.
every single day,
Yeah, that's
and it's
crazy,
like
right?
nothing. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to think about. Yeah, now it's like nothing. It's like, oh, just a simple post, and
Yeah, you
and
were like, why
other.
would anyone want to read my copy?
Well, and not only that, but I was so that was what I was. That was one thing that was holding me back. Like that was one of the limiting beliefs, but also just you have this fear of like, what are people going to think of me? Like it's got to be perfect, and like if I make one slightest mistake, it's like, what do they call it? Like the spotlight effect, where you think everybody is just looking at you with like laser beams, like trying to burn you at the second you make like the slightest mistake. And it's like, no, man, it's not that big of a deal. Like just post the damn post. People are really cool, the vast majority of people, and like
Social
it,
media, it's like, what's the
so
big deal?
what's the big deal? Yeah, it's not this big serious thing. Yeah, and it's just the same thing that guys do when it comes to talking to girls. They make it like this scary event, like, oh, what will happen if she says no, if she
Yeah.
rejects me? And it's
That
like,
other
dude,
guy got rejected. Like, I don't know if
yeah,
I can do it.
exactly,
Heard that one
exactly.
recently, actually.
That's so funny. And then,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. And then you actually do the fucking thing, and you realize, like, oh, like what was I afraid of? Like, this is so silly. Like, there's absolutely no downside, and so yeah, it's just funny how that works. So I would say that was the biggest thing. Like, it really helped me to overcome my perfectionism, which was such a huge disadvantage for me. It was really holding me back, and also overcome my fear of posting and publicly putting myself out there, and it's really done just wonders for me. So yeah,
Yeah. Breaking down the perfectionism, putting yourself out there, being
yeah,
vulnerable,
yeah,
and then the accountability, which it
mm.
took you a while, but now you are holding yourself accountable, which is beautiful to
Yeah,
post every day, which is pretty remarkable.
yeah,
Now,
yeah.
was there anything about the time working together, whether it was the one on one coaching or being a part of the mastermind, that surprised you or was something that you didn't anticipate when you got into it?
Yeah, I would say I really. was really cool was how you offer so many different aspects. Like it's not just a one-dimensional approach, but it's a comprehensive approach that you offer. And one thing that I found that was sort of a secondary benefit that I wasn't expecting was that obviously you dating and self-love and these different aspects that you help with, and
Branding.
branding, yeah. And even though it was like the business angle that I was the initial reason that initially interested me, the thing of your approach of really connecting with people and being authentic and things like that, that ended up having unexpected benefits. And for example, now I'm in an amazing relationship with an amazing, beautiful woman, and part of that is definitely thanks to the fact that I was able to actually connect on a deeper and more authentic level with her, thanks to the things you teach, right? With love and connecting and getting out of that whole like pickup mindset where it's just tactics and actually focusing on building that relationship and connecting at a deep level.
You didn't know her before we started, right?
No, I don't. No, no, nope.
It's a COVID relationship.
COVID relationship.
I'm in one now
Yeah,
too. So
yeah,
yeah, pretty
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. It's
Um,
beautiful.
what about so you're in a relationship, which is amazing, and it's going really well for you. What about your income and your business?
Hmm.
What kind of evolution has taken place with your business life since we
Hmm.
started?
Yeah, great question. So I'd say the biggest thing would be that the biggest thing is it really. So you helped me clarify my actual my unique value proposition and really get clear about, okay, who is the market that I want to serve, what was the specific angle that I wanted to get into. And I think that really made a big difference because before working with you, one of the things is I think I wasn't differentiated enough among other copywriters. I was, it was more just
Just
just another copywriter.
what is it? Fast response,
Yeah, direct response
direct
copywriter.
response
Yeah,
copywriter.
yeah, exactly,
And now
exactly.
what are you? You're the course
That,
copywriter.
yeah, the course copywriter, and specifically for courses and coaches. And now
Yeah.
I'm continuing to further like just make that even more specific and as I continue to build and getting into copywriting for personal brands that want actually, storytelling type of copywriting for awesome personal brands. And so that's, it's like you really helped me really niche down, and that's had so many benefits um, as far as separating yourself from the pack. And it's amazing. Like for example, immediately after we worked together, as we immediate like I think the first week we started working together, we went over my USP, value proposition, everything, and it was literally that same week I ended up getting, I think, 2 or 3 inbound highly qualified leads from like top people in my industry with this new like unique position that you helped me clarify. And it was crazy because I had never had inbound leads coming in, and these were like top, like one of them was one of the top dating coaches in the market, like this guy that's a very well-known dating coach, and he contacted me out of the blue and was just like, "Hey, I see you do the exact thing that I'm looking for. Let's jump on a call." And it was like, whoa! It was like mind blowing, and that happened a number of times sequentially, and it just made me realize, like, oh my God, the power of that one exercise we did to actually go over like a unique value proposition and clarify that. Man, that was just huge. So yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty remarkable. We did a live in my group when
Hmm.
that stuff started to happen
Hmm.
because it was like really fast. The results were really quick with you.
Yeah.
Um, so, how do you plan on continuing to use what we've worked on together?
Mm. Great question. Yeah. So the big thing now is I'm working on just keeping up with this the stuff that we've worked on. So for example, posting on Facebook every day. That's been huge already, and I've I've seen the benefits already, and I've only been doing it for like a month and a half or so, like consistently every single day since I started really taking it seriously, and it's been huge. And so just continuing to work on that. Also, yeah, just continuing to practice, the things that you talked about. It's really become internalized, I think, to a large extent now. But the things of self-love and focusing on building connections and offering value and all this stuff that you teach. So yeah, I guess just moving forward, it's just continuing to practice the things that you left me with, that seed that you planted, continuing to grow that and grow that. And yeah, it's beautiful. And the future's looking bright. So I'm excited for it.
Keep watering those seeds.
Yeah.
Now, would you recommend this program to other guys? And if so, who do you think would benefit most from it?
Great question. So I would absolutely recommend this program to other guys, and I guess I would say I would recommend it for any guy that's looking for several things. But one is, if you need help when it comes to actually improving your dating life, I mean, there's so many other dating coaches that will just teach you stupid like tactics and tricks, and it's really kind of bullshit, but Dave, you teach the authentic real deal thing. So I would say that's one type of guy I would recommend it for, a guy that's looking to take his dating life to the next level and improve it, and do so in a way that's authentic and allows him to be naturally more attractive. And so I would say that's one guy. I would say another one is for guys that are looking to actually start their own thing and get into their own business.
Like
And
young entrepreneurs?
young entrepreneurs, yeah, exactly. You have so much to offer to young entrepreneurs looking to get started, and so that's the second group I'd suggest. And I guess just the third thing would be any guy that's looking for accountability and a coach just to help improve in just in general, like just general self improvement, and
Like
also
a
to have a
transformational experience?
transformational experience. Exactly.
Mhm.
And also to have that, so to have you as to sort of guide them through that and give accountability for that, but also having this community that you have
Yeah,
when you're in the mastermind of other really high quality, amazing guys that'll be a part of it with you. That's Those are the three things that I'd suggest. So if those three things are what you're looking for, this is definitely for you.
awesome. Final question. What's in store for Beau D. Schultz in 2021?
Ah, great question. So the main thing is continuing on this path of just building my business and continuing to really apply a lot of the principles that you taught me,
Mhm.
and really just taking it to the next level and continuing to remain consistent with it. I Yeah, so it's great, but I feel like I have so much clarity now that I didn't have before we started working together. And so really what really helped me is like going into 2021, I just feel very clear on my purpose and mission.
Mm.
And that just feels great. And so it's such a great feeling, man, when you're really clear on what it is that you want to do, where you're going. And that's something that you help provide so much clarity with. Uh, so yeah, lots to look forward to this year, and as we move forward, and it's thanks in large part to you and your coaching and how all the clarity that you helped me achieve.
I appreciate that, Bo. There is a lot to look forward to for you and for your business and for everything that you're doing. A lot of people reaching out to me, asking me about you and what you do. So hopefully, this gives them a better sense as to what you do and where you're going. And we'll be hearing more of you in the future. So talk soon.
Awesome, awesome, sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank
Talk
you.
soon.
Peace.